Some of the topics I cover in my art are Crohn's, trauma, pain, suffering. Trauma is an experience that changes your life forever. Often it leads to PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, which has you reliving that experience over and over and over again. I grew up in the Valley, which is, part of Los Angeles. I was diagnosed when I was 5, but what I was told was that I had symptoms from birth. I certainly remember nausea, diarrhea, screaming in pain when I'm going to the bathroom. I went into the hospital. They pulled me into a room. My parents weren't there, and they were trying to put a tube into me. And I started, fighting them off and, kind of kicking and screaming. And they held me down and tied me up. When they tied me up and took away my fight, I just detached. And, I feel like I cut off my feelings in order to survive that situation. When I was really very young, I decided I couldn't draw. That was not even an option for me. And I was having imagery, that's how I understood things. I see images in my head, and then I will find myself trying to describe those images as a way of explaining how I'm feeling. Years later, I met the woman who had become my wife, Anna, and we met in a film class. So the first time we kissed, she pushed me away and she said, "I can't be with an artist." And I was like, "What are you talking about? I'm not an artist." And she's like, "What are you talking about? You're totally an artist." I love her so much, and she's been critical to me becoming an artist and becoming the person that I am. I love how just our teamwork on this project and just our whole relationship. I'm so grateful that we met, all those years ago in that film class.
I love how we have similar tastes and then also complementary skills. And I love that I can trust you when I ask you, whether you like it or not, or when I'm stuck.
Yeah, and likewise, you're basically the only person I truly trust with, in terms of like an opinion on my art. I had no expectation or judgment around it because I was already like, I can't do this. I'm just gonna, draw whatever I can, stick figure, whatever, just to try to get down an idea. And then she saw it and she was like, "Wow, this is really good." And, she kept encouraging me to keep doing it, and it kept feeling good. And eventually I stumbled onto what's now my signature style, which is unique and it stands out and it's identifiable. So this is a piece called Bound Unbound. So when I think of this, it's a lot of different things. It's the feeling of being constrained, and I think it's most represented by this figure here, and it's sort of like how I felt at different times, specifically when I was 5 years old and tied up. So when I see this thing that's been stuck inside of me in front of me here on this screen, it feels like I can now look at it and not feel controlled by it, but I can feel a certain amount of peace looking at it and sort of seeing I turned this horrible thing that happened to me into a beautiful piece of art. Some of the depictions of Crohn's in my art are very literal. There's several about my first surgery when I first woke up and saw my abdomen and my scar and my stoma hanging out. Some are about specific instances of things I went through. Some are things that any person with Crohn's can relate to. That's been part of my art journey, is to find my way back to my emotions. I mean, with all my art, there's like literal blood, sweat, and tears in it, you know, because it's like the blood of being cut open and have things put in my body. Anna and I, we've grown so much together. We've helped, I think, rebirth each other in terms of psychologically, emotionally, and certainly for me as an artist. And I've made a lot of progress, but it'll be my life's work.